Built to protect and rule their realms, castles and palaces had not only been able to withstand imperial attacks, but also served as living manifestations of the royalty's power and wealth among anybody else in the old days, and even up to this very moment. Castles possess this level of everlasting grandeur and magic that flash not only their compelling role in telling their rich history, but how they became trademarks of legends, lore, and full-blown fantasy that we can only see in Disney. They have this certain kind of enchantment that draws us in, the modern-day travelers, to witness and revisit those luxurious worlds that our imagination once perceived in our childhood bedtime stories. Here are the 10 most impeccably luxurious castles in the world that could just fill up volumes of storybooks and will literally leave you wholeheartedly believing in that happily ever after. Number 10. Schwerin Castle, Germany. One of the finest examples of great history in the entire region of Europe is reflected in the waters of Lake Schwerin in all its glory. From the countless robust towers that stood just in the perfect spots, up to its domes and impressive 5 stretches of wings. Nobody can really find the right words to describe how magnificent Schwerin Castle is. This castle's roots go back more than 1,000 years ago, but the Grand Duke of Mecklenburg-Schwerin, Frederick Francis II, had the building reconstructed for it to serve as a tangible symbol of his dynasty back in 1857. The magnificent castle has no less than 653 rooms with equally extravagant interior, from marquetry flooring, intricate wall carvings, gilded pieces of ornaments and figurines, and stucco ceilings that are guiltlessly high. Number 9. Biltmore Estate, Asheville, USA. Biltmore, America's largest home, sparks elegance and splendor. Built in the 1890s by George W. Vanderbilt, located at the heart of Asheville, this French Renaissance castle is truly an architectural jewel, housing a total of 250 rooms, in which 35 are bedrooms, 43 are bathrooms, and 65 are fireplaces. Skirting this gigantic 8,000-acre home are forested trails and gardens, designed by no other than Frederick Law Olmsted, the father of American landscape architecture, which fosters one of the country's most complete collection of azaleas. And if you think that you need to fly to France in order to visit lavish and the best wineries there is, Biltmore saves your day, because it is in this estate where you can find the nation's most visited winery. As you explore and unwind in this luxurious estate, expect to enjoy the equally luxurious shopping, dining, and other forms of accommodation that you can only get to witness here. Number 8. Frederiksborg Castle, Denmark. Beautifully situated on 3 small islets in the Castle Lake in Hillerød is Denmark's pride, the breathtaking Frederiksborg Castle. This Renaissance castle in Scandinavia was built in the early decades of the 17th century by King Christian IV, with the incorporation of the absolute best of Renaissance architecture and craftsmanship. A picturesque Baroque garden complete with festive cascades and parterre flower beds are housed in the vicinity of the castle. Since 1978, the castle became an entrepot of historical pieces that speaks 5,000 years of Danish history. That's why it is in no doubt that immensely priceless objects such as portraits, paintings, furniture, sculptures, and decorative art, among others, are procured in this very castle. The view you could get as you walk around the castle lake are more than enough to make your friends envious. Number 7. Chateau Louis XIV, France. Treated as the world's most expensive home, this chateau, situated in Luciennes, which was only a new construction, gave justice to its price when it was once considered as the potential wedding location of the wealthy socialite Kim Kardashian, and is now owned by no other than the Prince of Saudi himself. This grand chateau that shouts wealth and luxury was largely inspired by the magnificent classical palaces. It boasts a 69-acre enclosed property near Versailles. It has an indoor and outdoor pool, along with a private cinema, squash court, 2 ballrooms, and a nightclub at its very own disposal. The house was reportedly sold to the Prince of Saudi for €275 million in 2015. Number 6. Chateau de Chambord, France. Loire Valley is legendary for its plenty number of beautiful castles, including this wonderful chateau. This chateau is basically everything that you would expect for a castle: elegant, grand, luxurious, and imposing. Truly a perfect fit for a king and queen. This fine French Renaissance building was commissioned by Francis I of France. Its vertiginous scale was meant to inscribe as one of the many royal residences of the king used throughout the years of his reign. The king had a vast entourage, which could number over 600 servants. Surely these people's accommodation was a practical necessity. The castle has a total of 440 rooms, and recently, over 40 unique pieces were installed to give visitors an authentic insight into its rich history. Number 5. Ashford Castle, Ireland. A 13th century castle that was once the estate of Lord Ardilaun and the Guinness family, Ashford launched as a luxury hotel way back in 1939. After its restoration in 2013, the castle now has 82 custom bedrooms and a breathtaking lakeside cottage to offer to its guests. You probably could think how luxurious becomes an understatement once you enjoy the dining options the castle provides. A 32-seat indoor cinema, a huge collection of books in the library, billiards room, cigar terrace, and beautiful public lounges, all with high-speed Wi-Fi, are some of the things you could lavishly enjoy and make you forget the rest of the world during your stay in this grand castle. Number 4. Buckingham Palace, London. While Buckingham Palace itself is a fixture of fame in British culture, there is still so much about it that only few people know. Apart from being a prominent tourist attraction in London, the royal residence had been a host to some of the most iconic and significant moments in English history. Thus, it hosted illustrious individuals. Today, the entire building is roughly 830,000 square feet, with 775 rooms in which 52 are royal and guest suites, 188 are staff bedrooms, 92 are offices, and 78 are bathrooms. The land on which this palace stands is in the Westminster Borough and has been in the royal family for over 400 years. Basically, if you walk around the borough, even without stepping foot in the castle itself, you already get the chance to experience luxury in its very sense. Number 3. Malbork Castle, Poland. Another breathtaking medieval fortress that sits on the banks of the sluggish Nogat River is the Malbork Castle. This blockbuster castle with a distinct reddish color was built in the 1400s by the warriors of the Teutonic Order as part of their conquest that is now the country of Poland. Surface area-wise, Malbork Castle spreads out over 52 acres of land, which makes it the largest castle in the world and the largest brick building among all castles in Europe. Number 2. Hearst Castle Estate, California. Perched atop a California hill is a stunning tribute to the mind-blowing wealth of the most important and extravagant faces and figures in the 20th century. The Hearst Castle, named after the prominent newspaper tycoon William Randolph Hearst. This single estate is literally filled with luxury because it's surrounded by 3 large guest houses. It also fosters an incredibly expensive outdoor pool, the Neptune Pool, built right at the hilltop, which undergone a restoration project, which costed a ringing $5.4 million. This pool is so huge that it stopped a 5,000-gallon per day leak during its restoration. Number 1. Neuschwanstein Castle, Bavaria. Rather called as the Fairy Tale Castle, Neuschwanstein Castle is the castle in your Disney dreams. This is one of the most visited spots in Germany and one of the most popular destinations in Europe. It was built by King Ludwig II, also known as the Fairy Tale King, a great admirer of Richard Wagner. He was an avid supporter of Wagner that the castle itself is built in his honor. The fairy tale looks of Neuschwanstein Castle inspired Walt Disney to create Magic Kingdom, the one you always see in every start of a Disney movie. So what do you think of the top 10 most luxurious castles in the world? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe with the notification bell for more luxurious videos, just like this one.